Last week on Kanjo Kingdom. We showed you how much an extortion and bribery ring run by officers from Nairobi's City Inspectorate makes from informal traders.
Every year, that is 1,152,000,000 shillings in bribes, or $11.5 million.
I have not had such kind of a specific case.
In this episode, we show you the faces that run this illegal operation. And the street-level boss who they all report to. Nairobi streets and sidewalks look messy come 5 p.m. Getting through the rush hour traffic is even harder when you add this: the sheer number of people lining up to sell you something. No shops, no receipts, just hundreds of transactions. Raw, illegal, and unregulated capitalism. But to the extortion network that we are focusing on, it's a kingdom, a vast territory ripe for illegal taxation. And with every kingdom, there's a hierarchy and an order to things.
There could be. I can't say no, there could be. But I would like to appeal that anybody who faces extortionists who work for the county government, let them come to me. They don't even need to go to a third party. And we'll take action. We'll arrest them, we'll make sure they're jailed, and we'll sack them.
Our sources, a group of Kenyans whose identity we shall not unveil in order to keep them safe, focused on the 120 square kilometer grid hosting some of Nairobi's most populous and profitable areas. From East Lee down to Pipeline Estate, across town to Kibera, and up to Westlands. Here, they found and followed the key group of inspectorate officers profiting from hawkers and informal traders. Together, they form part of a network of city-county officers that collect bribes of over 1 billion shillings from hundreds of thousands of Kenyans. They chiefly operate using 2 city inspectorate vehicles, identified on the street by their inspectorate tags, CI 161 and CI 174. They often start from the Parklands police station, running a gauntlet that takes them to Ngara's Fig Tree area into Ngara, down into the central business district, mostly winding up in 4 areas: City Hall's County Council office, at the fire station on Tom Boyer Street, at Odeon Cinema Hall further down that road, and at the Inspectorate Yard near Wakulima Market. These officers often go by nicknames. These are the first 2: Jacqueline alias Kamadha, slang for small mother, and Gadhaudhau, a slang name implying his affinity for money. Gadhaudhau also goes by the name the Limping One. Kamadha is associated with City Inspectorate Vehicle 161 and operates in the Ngara Central Business District area. On their own, they collect bribes with business-like efficiency, not only collecting bribes from street vendors, but also shop owners. These clips of Kamadha were recorded between April 2015 and October 2015. On most occasions, Kamadha goes from shop to shop, collecting bribes of up to 500 shillings per shop from shop owners in Ngara's Fig Tree area. Holding the notes tightly in a clenched fist after each transaction. On another occasion, she's captured negotiating a bribe with two hawkers whose goods already are in the back of a city inspectorate van.
Sasa ni unajua nyuma kuna buti nyingi sana. Iko na nini na okay buti yote. Mwalimu inakaaje? Ni mtu mmoja. Hiyo imefunguliwa pale mbele. Ni mtu mmoja kuna viatu mingi sana ndani. Unajua buti ni mtu mmoja yote. Buti ilikuwa mtu mmoja. Ni yangu buti. Kuna buti ya mtu mmoja chini. Wewe maidia ni. Namba mbili sasa nini? Ile kwa mbele mbili na hii mbili. Unajua tukitoka hapa mtaka. Yote nitasubiri. Niko na mbili. Niko na zao mbili maidia mai. Tafadhali tu.
On another one of her rounds, Kamadha is seen casually receiving a bribe from a shopkeeper. The transaction is brief and almost silent. Each one knows their role. Listen to the conversation that took place between our whistleblower and the shopkeeper afterwards. Gadaudhao is no different. He operates along the same street as Kamadha, and his bribes are often fished out as quickly as he comes and goes. In another clip, recorded on the week of September the 15th, 2015, Gadaudhao swoops through his usual route, hardly stopping to talk. Listen to the conversation that takes place immediately after he leaves. When they are together though, the pair make a very efficient duo. Take a look at this clip, recorded in October 2015. Gadaudhao, seen here in the brown jacket, arrives to extort money from the vendors once again. He has a brief conversation with them, at which point Kamadha arrives. Seen in the black dress, she enters the stall to Gadaudhao's immediate left. Gadaudhao leaves the two vendors counting the amount for this occasion's bribe. While Kamadha gets a kickback from the other stall. She's handed a wad of notes by the vendors and goes on her way. That same month, a vendor, perhaps tired of constantly paying up, decides to skip one payday. When Gadaudhao arrives, he is furious. Listen to this conversation.
Nina mazengenyo.
Mwenye banaga ni unaona na mimi huyo ndio unaona akipigiwa mwenye konizo ndio ndiye ametoka kidogo. Unajua ngani ikifika hapo utaongea tu anaongea. Ndio maana. Hiyo tunajua. Hiyo tunajua. Sasa anasema kwa wapi ameenda kujua pale na tunamwambia.
Sasa akasema kwa wapi?
Waje huyo ampigia bwana.
Sio kitu tunachopia sana.
The vehicle Kamadha is referring to is the inspectorate van, CI 161. Every hawker on the street knows that losing their goods to the back of a van, or worse, being arrested, only adds to the amount you have to pay these officers. The remaining trio of inspectorate officers all have something more sinister currently hanging over their heads: their alleged involvement in a murder. They are currently facing murder charges after last year's killing of hawker Irungu Kamau. The case is yet to be determined, and thus no further comment can be made about its merits. But what isn't before the court is evidence of extortion and threats, and their role in the $1 million bribery racket. This is Julius Ochieng. According to the footage we have seen from our whistleblowers, Julius is a right-hand man of the boss of the Pentagon of Impunity, collecting bribes on his leader's behalf. On this occasion, Julius stops by the same area that Gadhaudhao and Kamadha often collect bribes from. He waves a robotic hello to hawkers selling their goods outside as he waits for a specific vendor. The vendor emerges and doesn't waste time giving Julius what he came for. Julius then tells the traders, who from the conversation seem quite comfortable with him, what orders he has.
Easy shop.
Hizo container zote. Hizo nataka kuona hapo pamoja na kazi hizo. Hizo gurufula yote nataka kuona.
Nasikia Julius. Tafuta shimbo tutakuja. Takuwa customer wako.
Nitakwambia.
Sawa.
Ongea wapi simu
He appears to be friendlier to the vendors than most other inspectorate officers. But this clip also reveals how willing some vendors are to be part of this illegal taxation scheme. Here, they are discussing being moved to a different location to sell their wares, paying into the illegal taxation scheme that will likely see them moved once again. Kenya's Chief Justice, Willy Mutunga, described this in one succinct phrase: the bandit economy.
If you want to decode the Chief Justice bandit, what he's basically saying are two words. He's telling you the people who come to help the poor come like bandits. So they like invade this activity called the poor, not to make them better, but to indirectly kill. So the word bandit is like you decided a policy, yes, but you had no intention of implementing it.
Are you aware that there are members of the city inspectorate who are involved in an extortion and bribery ring, extorting thousands of informal traders in this city?
If you feel aggrieved by the actions of our officers, you are supposed to come and let me know. I have not had such kind of a specific case from an individual.
We do have information that this particular 4 individuals, people of means, from these extortion rings that they've been running around the city.
Back on the streets, there are figures that attest to the existence of this network. In the area that our whistleblowers focused on, there are 2 more individuals who play a major part in the scheme. This is Alfred Marenya, also known as Tall Brown. Alongside the boss, Marenya is one of the most feared inspectorate officers to have walked the streets in recent times. He mostly operates using vehicle CI-174, but works alongside the boss.
Wengine wakaniambia kijana na Brown amefanya watu wengi wame Nairobi. Wanawacha kazi vizuri wanaenda nyumbani. Akamwambia sio mimi. Kuna sheria. Nategemea nitamaji.
Huyu mrefu kama huyu mdogo.
Brown yule mrefu yule anaenda na watu 74.
Huyu wa 74.
Si ndio huyo anaitwa Alfred Marenya. Wewe nani? Jina yake nilijua wapi? Nilijua pa gazeti.
Wanataka ngiri. Na unawapatia ngapi? Sota. Nani anakuambia?
On another occasion, one defiant hawker complains about Tall Brown.
Polisi ndani wananiambia unashindana na Brown. Limuru ni mjinga. Sisi tunashindana na yeye na yeye ni mjinga. Hata ukikataa kutoa hiyo 500 kutoka kwa ngari hapa, atakupeleka ulale seni na atakuandikia vitu vingine ambao haina tibit. Na wewe ndio utaumia. Ndio ataenda huko achukue kitabu na ile kitu ameandika ndio inapelekwa city. Na ukisomea hiyo mastaka anaanza kuwa ameandika account kama 3 ama 4 ama 5 na kila account moja ikuwe ni moja ama 1000. Utakataaje na umeandika na umeshikwa?
Tall Brown, it would appear from the footage and the testimonies given, is fairly more powerful and more feared than the rest of the gang, save for one man. The man who, from the footage recorded, witness accounts given, and by his own actions, is the boss of this gang. This man, Benson Akasiambani, who is known better to the hawkers by his ominous alias, Wasiwasi. Swahili for many worries. Over the year and a half that the gang's actions were secretly recorded, the name Wasiwasi came up over and over again as a man who instills fear and collects bribes with frequency and efficiency. Whereas sometimes he will collect in person from each hawker, most times he has hawkers themselves do the collecting. This hierarchy is established wherever he goes. This clip was recorded in October 2015. Listen to the conversation between a cook in one of Ngara's markets, one of our whistleblowers, and one other person. The cook is counting money that will be handed over to Wasiwasi later that day. On another occasion, also in October 2015, Wasiwasi is in Ngara collecting from hawkers. One of the hawkers willingly sells out one of their fellow vendors.
Ama nikija hapa nilizopata basi niende kwa gari. Usiweke. Hata tu ikuwe ni Kaja kule gari. Usiweke. Ndio kule mtoto. Usiweke. Iko sawa? Nitashilize. Hiyo moja sana ndio hata bega. Wewe waambie sasa Tuesday tutoke gari. Sawa.
With every clip, it becomes increasingly clear that Wasiwasi's reign on the streets is almost unchallenged.
Unauzia wakipeleka pesa home. Ile pesa si yangu. Sitaipata.
In the first episode of Kanjo Kingdom, we showed you footage of inspectorate officers burning goods confiscated from hawkers. One figure sat and seemingly directed everyone else. That is Wasiwasi. Here he is again, walking on the street after the officers were done. When he hears the cries and taunts from the hawkers, the sign he makes is very telling. In every conflict between hawkers and the city inspectorate, it is his name that they shout in anger. Next week, we show you just what it means to cross the invisible red line drawn by the inspectorate.
One chapter in the tragic story of the hawkers who are assaulted on a daily basis by City Inspectorate Askaris winds up here at the Kiambu Hospital. Because if you don't pay up, you often get stabbed, injured, or worse, you could die.
And tell you about the graves that are being left behind after violence rocks the Kanjo Kingdom.